It started out as something small, so small that I almost didn't notice it at first. About a week ago, I was getting ready for bed, exhausted from another long day. I washed my face, brushed my teeth, the usual routine. As I turned off the bathroom light and caught a glimpse of my reflection, something felt off. I saw what I thought was a shadow behind me, just in the corner of the mirror's reflection. I didn't think much of it at first. It was probably just a trick of the light, or maybe I was seeing my own shadow. My bathroom was dimly lit, and I was tired. I turned off the light, went to bed, and forgot about it. The next night, the shadow was there again. This time, it wasn't just a blur in the background. It looked like a figure, standing just behind me, almost out of sight. The more I stared at it, the more certain I became that it wasn't a trick of the light. But every time I turned around to look behind me, the bathroom was empty. I chalked it up to stress and exhaustion. Work had been brutal lately, and I wasn't sleeping well. I tried to convince myself that I was just imagining things. After all, mirrors play tricks on people, don't they? A flash of movement from the corner of your eye can look like something that's not really there. That's all it was, I told myself. Nothing more. But each night, the figure became clearer. By the third night, I could make out more details. A face, though its features were blurred, and a shape that was distinctly human. The figure was standing right behind my shoulder in the mirror, just close enough that I should have felt its presence, but I didn't. And every time I turned around, the room was still empty. I started to avoid the mirror, brushing my teeth with my head down, refusing to glance at my reflection before bed. But the feeling of being watched wouldn't go away. Even when I avoided looking, I could feel it. This presence, standing right behind me, as if it was waiting for me to notice it. I should have ignored it. I should have kept my eyes down and never looked again. But last night, my curiosity got the better of me. I was sitting on the edge of my bed, too wired to sleep, staring at the floor. Out of habit, my eyes drifted to the mirror across the room. I wish I hadn't. I wish I had just kept looking away. The figure wasn't standing behind me anymore. This time it was closer, so close that I could make out more of its features. It had a face, pale with sunken eyes and a twisted grin. But its eyes, they weren't just reflections of mine. They were watching me. I could feel its gaze, cold and unblinking. I couldn't move. I just sat there staring into the mirror, too terrified to turn around and face the empty room. And then, it moved. Not me, the figure. Its head tilted, as if curious, as if studying me. I could hear my own heartbeat pounding in my ears, but I couldn't make myself look away. I was frozen, paralyzed by fear. When I finally forced myself to move, I jumped up and flicked on the lights. The room was empty, as always. But when I looked back at the mirror, my reflection was normal again. There was no figure, no face. Just me, wide-eyed and trembling. But I know what I saw. The figure was real, and it's getting closer. Each night, it's closer than the last. I haven't slept since. How could I? I can feel it watching me even now as I sit in the dark, avoiding my own reflection. I don't know what it wants, but I know it's coming for me.